Hello friends, this is Worm, and it's time for another episode of Exotic Recrafting, the series where we talk about weak, underused, or straight up bad exotics in Destiny 2, talk about how we can make them better. And on the menu for today, I've got Lumina. Now Lumina, I know that in the Nether right now, it is currently performing very well. I don't think this is going to be the case going forward, and so when I'm talking about Lumina, I'm kind of leaving out the Nether. Okay, this isn't just the regular base game. But yeah, Lumina, not a bad weapon by any means. I wouldn't even really say it's underused. I would just say it's weak compared to its other support counterparts, particularly No Hesitation, which is the support frame solar auto rifle that can provide a ton of benefits to you and teammates. And I think that really No Hesitation currently is outshining Lumina for a couple reasons that we'll talk about in just a second. But first, let's talk about Lumina itself. Lumina, of course, when you get a kill with a weapon, it will create a remnant at the target's location. Then when you go and pick up that remnant, it will provide you with a Noble Seeker. The Noble Seeker rounds, when you hip fire this weapon in the direction of a teammate, it will go and actually provide health regeneration to that teammate, as well as giving you and that teammate a 35% damage boost. Blessing of the Sky. It will also, when you pick up a remnant, it will also fill 4 rounds back in your magazine. And then the Catalyst just gives it the ability to create 2 remnants on kill. So that's what Lumina does currently. Now let's talk about why it is weak and why it is, in my opinion, inferior to No Hesitation. Starting off with the first reason here, which is that Lumina requires kills to get going. No Hesitation does not. No Hesitation just requires you to deal damage, and it can be any source of damage. Lumina, you have to get kills with. So we're going to talk about that one. The second issue that I see with Lumina is it doesn't have the ability to self-heal. And again, No Hesitation does through a perk called Physic, which again, we'll talk about that in just a second. And then finally, it doesn't synergize with Solar 3.0. No Hesitation does synergize with Solar 3.0. So we'll talk about each of those in order. Starting off, of course, with the first one, which is the fact that you have to get kills with Lumina. I think this is a pretty easy fix. Okay, instead of requiring picking up those remnants to get the healing rounds, just change it so that Lumina can fire healing rounds anytime it's hip fired and there's an ally in range. It's literally just that simple. If I haven't killed anything, if I load into an activity, I can immediately start healing my ally. Now, keep in mind here, I'm saying healing, not providing Blessing of the Sky. Okay, just the healing part, but just the healing part, giving cure ×1, restoration ×1 to allies when hip firing just anytime, I think would be the first step in making Lumina a more viable option in content, because then it makes it a little bit better than No Hesitation, because now you don't have to deal damage. You just get that free boost, that free healing buff as long as you can hip fire. Now, the second thing is that Lumina does not provide, it doesn't provide that self-healing. So to counter this, we could do one of two things. We could either provide a unique benefit to the weapon, or just give it Physic as one of its new exotic, or one of its perks with the exotic catalyst. I think that would be a pretty simple thing to do. I think that optimally it would be best if Bungie could maybe just make it so that it also provides you with cure and restoration anytime you heal somebody. But at the bare minimum, giving it Physic so that whenever you actually shoot somebody and heal somebody, or provide somebody the restoration, it will also give you that restoration as well, is a good baseline. But I think that would be a really strong change, because then again, it would promote the support play a lot more heavily, because hey, not only is my teammate now healing, but I'm healing myself, so I can continue in the action and the combat. Now, the third thing is Solar Synergy, and this is where it's going to tie the other two and this one all together. But I think that there is kind of an argument to be made about Solar Synergy. Currently, Lumina, even though it does activate Ember of Benevolence, it doesn't provide solar verbs such as, solar keywords such as restoration or cure. And I think that it probably should. I think that it would be a good idea to make it provide those. And yes, even though currently the healing effect that it gives is technically stronger than restoration, in fact, it is, I think it's matched with your overall recovery. So if you shoot a teammate currently and they have tier 10 recovery, or if they're using, what is that helmet called? I Have Another World, and they have tier 13 recovery, they will heal very fast, substantially faster than restoration ×1 or even ×2. But I think that synergizing it with that solar would provide players options, because if somebody else is using a solar subclass, for example, then they can, use fragments and stuff to chain off of that restoration that they're getting and that cure that they're getting as well. But I also think that it would help to improve the weapon, because Now there's a reason to pick up the remnants, and the remnants I told y'all we would come back to the remnants, and now we're going to circle around back to the remnants. The remnants should stay. And I think that the way that Bungie could actually balance this out so that the remnants are still viable and still good is when you hip fire, you provide cure ×1 and restoration ×1 to your teammates. And then maybe you provide, restoration ×1 to yourself. But when you pick up a remnant and you have a noble seeker round, then when you shoot an ally, it gives cure ×2 and restoration ×2 to that ally, as well as giving restoration ×2 to yourself. And when you shoot a noble seeker round, or a buffed healing round, basically, it would also provide blessing of the sky to both you and that teammate, which again, that's that 35% damage boost, which is a huge damage boost. I think that blessing of the sky should definitely stay where it is. I don't think we should replace blessing of the sky with radiant, but I think that once you do that, it would still give you the encouragement to run around the battlefield and pick up remnants. Okay, so be mobile with the weapon, but you don't have to do that. If you want to just play strict solar, healing mode, you can stay in one area. You can put your rift down with maybe Boots of the Assembler or something like that, and you can buff your allies and at least heal your allies a little bit. But again, picking up those remnants is going to substantially better the weapon. So that is the idea I have behind the solar synergy of it. That way, again, it does encourage, going and picking up those remnants. If we didn't have the solar synergy, I think that players just probably wouldn't go out and try to get those remnants. They'd probably just, have Lumina, switch to Lumina when they needed to get, a kill or something like that. But now, again, with that solar synergy, you now have players, that want to go out on the battlefield and collect the remnants and among other stuff. But yeah, those are my 3 ideas. Again, give it the ability to also heal the wielder, give it the ability to activate without having to get any kills or any damage, and of course, giving it solar synergy. What do you think? Do you like those ideas? Do you have any other of your own ideas to help Lumina be a more viable option in the support role? Just tell me all that stuff in the comments. Of course, if you liked today's video, drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content, conversations, debates, discussions, all that good stuff. Also, don't forget, we will be live Tuesdays and Thursday nights at about 9 p.m. Central, so come check us out. With that being said, do me a favor, watch the videos you see here on the end screen, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks you'll like them. Guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.